only. I said that at the beginning that I'm starting the recording late. Why? Because to give you the shortest record. Actually, I'd like to give you the shortest quantity of time in the record with the full explanation. So I started now the recording. Why? Because I'm going to start the work. So Visual Studio immediately. I'm going to just write it here. Great. So this is the access point. This is the access window of this Visual Studio. We are going, as per our theory, we are going to deal with the web solutions only. We are going to design web solutions, file, new website. Yeah, here actually I'm gonna keep the same track, the same path where to be saved. It's an empty website, but it is built in C#. It is in C# as per our theory. Empty website, just okay. Yes, great. So as per our design, as per our actually expected design, what we are willing to achieve, which is this view here, let it be appeared first. Yes, according to this design here, we are going to, yes, start, let's say, a panel. No, I'm gonna put everything inside the body immediately. Text box labels, label 1 here, label 2 here. Here actually we have rich text box, and check boxes and radio buttons. Label and display here is a button here and down. So let's do something similar. Not mandatory to be the same, but at least something similar. Let's dig in. Uh, in my solution explorer, I'm gonna right click the root, add a new item, the item here I'm gonna choose it to be a web form. It's in C# also the same web form. It is web form. I'm gonna change the name to, from default.aspx to I'm gonna choose home.aspx. Is it okay? Home? Absolutely. I'm gonna change the home also. It's not home. I'm gonna change it to texts or text edition.aspx. .aspx, in all cases, whatever the name is, I don't touch. I keep it the same. Just add. It would appear here. Yes, here it is. Here it is. I'm going to swap my view to design from here. So I'm going to swap my view to design from here. I don't need to go with the code from the beginning. So no code from the beginning, no code. Regardless. So okay, so gaining a little bit of space. I'm going to start with inserting a label. Toolbox, we have the toolbox available here. If it's not available to you, you can bring it from the view menu, then you search for the toolbox. Here it is, toolbox. It would appear to you. So what I'm going to do from the standard category, I'm going to search for label. Label, this is it. Double click it. I find it here. Double click. Sorry, right click. Properties. I'm going to change the text to, as per our guide, enter name. I'm going to change it to enter name. Enter, let's say your name. Enter your name. Okay, it has been changed. In front of it, a bit of space, then a text box to enter the name in. Double click. Here it is. Here it is. I may maximize it a little bit. It's okay like that. Good. Then after that, actually, three checkboxes. I'm going to insert checkbox list. No, I'm going to checkbox only. I'm going to insert only simple checkbox. I'm going to insert checkbox. Yes, here it is. The first one, let it be actually the text. Right click. Properties. I'm going to put it to be, let's say, for example, red. In front of it, I'm going to insert a second checkbox. I'm going to say green. Then the third one would be actually for the blue color. So I have three check boxes for three colors. Now let's move to the radio button for the radio buttons for the font, the police. I made a mistake actually. The colors they are for the colors actually we cannot have a text with two colors. The colors they are with the radio buttons. This is actually to be bold. I change. This is to be under italic. Let's start with the italic, and this is underlined. Underlined. Good. Now the colors. Radio button. Where it is. I'm gonna say red. Second radio button. I'm gonna say green. Third radio button. Say blue. Great, done. Okay, very easy. Actually, for the text box now, for the third text box where to write the message, I'm going to insert the label first of all. Label. Here it is. Yes, I want to change the text to enter your message. Yes. In front of it, a rich text box. I'm going to insert a simple, a simple text box, but with multi-line. Text box, okay, text box, but with multi-line. I'm going to change to right-click properties of this text box. I want to say multi-line true. Multi-line. That's it. Set to multi-line. Yes, I can maximize a little bit now. Yes, very good. Multi-line. Great. Let's move to the display labels. For the name, I'm gonna insert label 1. Where it is. Label for the name, the effect to be happening on the name that we write here. And for the message, a second label for the message. Put it there. And then after, a button. Let's get space. Yes, a button, simple button. Double click it. Yes, here it is. So once we click this button, which is the event handler, we saw the event handler definition this morning, today in theory. So once the user clicks this button, the event, which is the click, will be applied. What to apply? What has been written here for the name and what has been written here for the message would be displayed in label 1 and label 2 here. But after applying the rules, what is the text font and what is the text color? What is the text policy applied? And then after, what is the color chosen? Let's say what we did so far. Let's test first of all to check if everything is fine or not. Let's test. Right click in any empty place, view in browser. Let him start. Okay, very fine. Okay, seems very fine. Here I'm gonna say Murad. I'm gonna choose bold, italic. Okay, green. Here I'm gonna say hello, INFS306 Lab W3. Okay. Button, nothing happened. It loads, yes, it loads, but nothing happened. Now the action comes. Now the action comes. Okay, I'm gonna close, come back to my design. I'm gonna change the button here from simple button like that, and I'm gonna change the text from button to display. Right click, properties, display. Good. Okay, once we click the display, the first thing to do, let's do it step by step. Save first. When I click the display, label this label here. In my case, it's label 3. This label 3 here would receive the text from this text box number 1. So the content of this text box 1 will be written in this label 3. Let's do that. So this one name is text box 1. This one name is label 3.
Excuse me مستر.
Yes, tell.
ما نشوف الخط شوي كبره إذا ممكن.
Yes, الخط هذا بكبره تو. Yes, I can. I repeat, I said on the display, because this is the event handler. I'm going to double click it. Once I double click it, double click to give the effect. But what we want to do is, once the user at the test phase, I'm going to type here Murad, whatever. When I click display, here it has to be written Murad, but I written here as a name. Whatever I write here, it has to be displayed here in this label number 1. In my case here, it's not label 1. In my case, in my computer, here is label 3. You check your computer, what is the name of the label you have. In my case, this one name is text box 1. You check your computer, what's the name in your text box. So text box 1 content will be written and label here, in my case, label 3. Do it. To do it, on this button, double click, exactly 2. Exactly 2, not 3 or 4 or 1. 2, and stop. That's it. Why 2? Because we might have other text available already, long text maybe. When you just click 2 clicks, immediately the cursor will appear in the correct position. See this move on cursor here. It is in the right position. I don't do. I leave the mouse, and immediately I type label 3. Here it is. I choose it. Dot text equals the name of the text box, which is text box 1. Text box 1 dot text. That's it. I don't do anything else. Here, semicolon at the end. Semicolon at the end. Finish. I did not use the mouse. I typed and I pressed Control S to save. Now I come back to my page here and let's test. Right click in any empty space, view in browser, and let me type any name, whatever. Here it is. Display. Murad. It has been written. I'm going to change right to, for example, when I say Oman 2021. Oman 2021. Okay, let's display. Here it is, Oman 2021. It works very fine. Let's do that also for the
دكتور.
message here. Yes, tell.
في النسخة 2012 ما حصلنا في new item web from.
No, موجودة form. It is available there. 2012 when you do add a new item, you find this circle. You find this actually either it is form, the word form, like it is form, but the icon is the same. Whatever the name is, the icon, الشكل نفسها.
ما حصلت شي بصور لك.
Share your screen with me.
لا أنا فاتحة المحاضرة في التلفون.
You can share the camera whatever, but you have to find الأيقونة نفسها. الاسم إذا اختلف الاسم، الأيقونة تظل مشابهة الأيقونة، ما تختلف. Try to find it. Otherwise, I have another solution. Right click, also add new item. if I can type here, yes, here it is. Type W or type F. I'm typing W me myself. I'm pressing W, 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 W. It swaps in between the icons. Otherwise, type F for your case. For your case, F. You'll find. But you just have to browse manually, go up and down until you find it. Okay, let's continue. I said let's do the same thing like we did for the name. Let's do it for the message. The message, what the user is going to type in this message here, it has to be displayed in the label 2 here. In my case, this label name is label 4. Label 4. And the name of this, actually, this is a multi-line text box. So right click, properties. The name is text box 2. Text box 2 content will be put inside label 4 content, where when the user actually presses this display button, double click again, we have already typed the code. What I'm going to do, new line. At the end, I press using the mouse now. At the end, enter, new line. What I'm going to do, label 4 now, label 4 dot text equals text box 2. Text box 2 dot also text. Semicolon. I finished. Save. Let's come back to our design and let's test from any empty place. View in browser. Yeah, okay, I'm going to type here any name. Here I'm going to say hello for the INFS306LABW3. W333, yes. Come on. What's happening? W3, it's okay. Stop typing, whatever. I don't care. Question, exclamation mark. Okay, just let's display. Here it is. It is happening. It is happening. What's the problem with this computer now? Did I do something? Okay, whatever. If I change the text here, I'm going to say UON, let's say spring 2021. It's not typing even. I'm going to say display. Yes, it is typing. It is changing. So the name has been displayed and the university and the message also has been displayed. Let's come back now. Now we succeeded. Now we succeeded in doing the display of the text. Name displayed. Message displayed. That's very good. Plus, that's what we want from the first view. Actually, the main purpose is to display the text. Yes, we did it. And the event is through the click of the button. We did it. What we are going to do more now is the effect. Let's start with the police or the font. Where is the Visual Studio? Here it is. So once I click the bold, the name and the message, whatever the user types here and here, has to be written here in bold. If the user checks the italic, whatever he typed here and here has to be displayed here in italic. If the user presses underline and checks underline, whatever he typed here and here have to be displayed here and here underlined. If he uses them all, the three means bold and italic and underline. Let's test to explain more. If the user presses the three italic and underline also, the three of them, whatever he typed here, say SP 2021, okay, whatever he typed here, they have to be displayed here. How? Bold, italic, and underlined. If he chooses only one, for example, only bold, they have to be displayed here in bold. Let's do that. Great. So the event handler is what? Still it's the same. It's the same button. The event handler is the same button. Double click it again. And we have already code. Okay, we'll apply. We will apply what? Come back. Start with the bold. If the user checks this button here, this checkbox here, the text would be bold here. That's good. So what is the name of this checkbox? In my case, it is checkbox 1. In my case here is checkbox 1. Okay. What is the name if he checks the checkbox 1? This label, which is label 3, and this label, which is label 4, both of them, label 3 and 4, would be bold. Let's do that. So, actually, we will not do something else. Let's do something like this. Actually, we need the user to check, actually, just do it differently. So I'm going to make a test, actually. Come on. If the user checks the checkbox 1, if checkbox 1, checkbox 1, but checked, great, enter. I'm going to say label 3 dot label 3 dot bold. No, it's not bold. It's not bold. It's actually, it's not a capital even. Font, yes, font. Dot bold, yes, equals true. Then label 4 also, label 4, we give it the same thing, dot font, dot bold, also will be true. Semicolon, we did. To avoid those errors, here is a semicolon. To avoid this error here, I'm going to give a start here, curly brace, and I close it here, curly brace. That's it, done. Here I have a problem. I'll check if the name if does not exist. I'm going to say if yes, in small. Great, class done. So enter again. Did it. Just respect the syntax and the design. So if the checkbox 1 not checked is checked, so label 1, label 3, and label 4 is going to be applied. So he actually, it is not working, so there is a space here. So I'm missing something, it seems to be. So I'm gonna make a test equals true. I'm gonna say yes, great. That's great. So yes. Now let's test. Now I save. Come back and let's test. Oh man, 2021. I'm gonna say bold. Display bold. See, yes. Here I'm gonna say UON SP 2021. It's not whitened, whatever. So I'm gonna say no, not bold here. Display. It is displaying in bold still, but let's refresh. Let's refresh. Retry. I'm gonna say enter the URL, nothing. I'm gonna say 2000, yes. I'm gonna say Roman UON SP 2021. So display. It is not in bold. It is not in bold. I'm gonna choose bold now, and I'm gonna display. Change it to bold. It works very fine. It works very fine. Let's do the same thing with the let's say underline. Let's do that. See what I'm going to do. See, be careful here. Double click. The code is a little bit long. After this curly brace, here, inside this curly brace, before this one means, here, enter. I'm going to say another if. If what? Checkbox, which checkbox? This checkbox here, the underline. In my case, it's checkbox 3, which is the underline. If checkbox 3, checkbox 3, yes, dot checked. I'm going to validate it, true. Yes, great. So start a work here. What I'm going to do here, is that I'm going to change the label 3 and 4. Label 3, font to be underlined. Font to be underlined. Underline. Yes, equals true. That's great, done. The same thing for the label 4. Label, sorry, label 4 dot font. Yes, dot underline. Underline also equals true also. It's one only equal. It's only one equal. Here we are using only one equal. Here we are using two equals. Two equals. Why? Because this is a test. This is an if. It's a test. But here no. This is an affectation. We are given a value. We are validating. Here we are testing. Here we are validating. We are affecting. It's not the same thing. Affecting, testing. So be careful. Good. Let's test now. Checkbox 3 is for the underline. Checkbox 3. It's for the underline. Yes. Let's save this file. See the star here means it's not saved. Let's save. I'm gonna save. Come back here. Let's test now. Okay, I'm gonna Oman 2000. I'm gonna say Oman UON SP 2021 exclamation mark. Let's display. Nothing happened. I'm gonna check only underline. Only underline. Display underlined. Worked very fine. Very good. I'm gonna add bold. Change it to bold. I'm gonna take off the underline now. It will remain the same. It will remain. It will not take off the underline. It is not underlined, but it will not take it off. We will fix it later. Let's come back now. Now it works for very fine for the underline and the bold. Let's finish for the italic. Italic is checkbox 2. Let's do it. Double click and be careful again. After this one, before this one, with curly braces. Enter. I'm going to say if checkbox 2. Checkbox 2 dot checked. Yes. Equals here validate true. Great. I'm gonna give the work here. Okay. What to do? Label 3. Dot font. Dot italic. That's it. I usually choose. Oh yes, semicolon. Now the same thing for the label 4. Also, it's the font. No, I made a mistake. Font, the T. Font, but italic also. Oh, there is a mistake. It's an F. So dot font dot italic. Great. So equals to true. Semicolon also. Finished. Save the file. Save the file. And let's test again. So any empty place. Now we have done the 3 working, no? Yes, Oman 2021. I'm going to say Oman UON SP 2021 exclamation mark. Okay, let's test without anything. I'm going to say italic. Yes, change it to italic. Perfect. It works very. The work is very fine. Yes, let's test the 3 of them. Bold, italic, and underline. Wonderful. Wonderful, then wonderful. Good. I'm going to take off the italic now. I'm going to take off the italic. Means without italic. Take off. Did not impact. Did not impact. I'm going to take the underline in. Take off. Still, it's not working. It does not take off the underline. I don't need the bold also. Take off. Still bold. It is not working. What should we do? We have to make the reverse case now. As we did, we apply the bold and the italic and the underline. We have to take them off. We have to take them off. How? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. Again, usually our control is through the event handler. Double click. Be careful the place where now. What I'm gonna do? We have the if statement. We are going to add the else if. Else if checkbox 1. I'm gonna for this one for the bold. The same thing. I'm gonna just do it. Copy. Avoid the writing. False. Very good. If it's not pressed, I open the curly braces. I'm going to do what? The same thing here. Label 3 dot font dot bold equals what? False. False now. If it has been checked true, so true. If it has been checked to false, so false. The same thing for the label 4. Label 4 dot font dot what bold also equals to false. That's great. Semicolon. Let's test it. Save first. Let's go to the test. Oman, okay. I'm gonna say Oman. Oh, come on, UONSP 2020. It's not writing. Okay. Exclamation mark. Whatever. Display. I'm gonna say bold. Display. Italic. Display. Display. Underline. It works. I'm going to take off the bold. Yes, it has been happened. Add the bold. Add it. Take off the bold. Took off. Yes, it works very fine. Take off the italic. No. Take off the underline. No, no. So we have to apply it also for the italic and for the underline. Let's do that. So again, the same event handler. Double click. Here, be careful also. For the checkbox 3 is the underline here. So after the underline here, I want to say enter. Else, if I'm going to bring this one, copy, paste, copy. Do it in front of you. Right click, copy, and paste it here. In between parentheses, paste. Change the true to false. Great. And I start my curly brace and I close it here. Enter. I want to change those two. But they have to be false. And this one also has to be false. Yes. The same scenario for the italic. So else here be careful. Else, if between parentheses, I'm going to say checkbox 2 dot checked equals false. Wait, I want to start my curly brace here. Enter. I want to say what? Label 3 dot font dot italic equals false. Semicolon. The same thing for the label 4, sorry, dot checked. Label not checked, what's it? Dot font, yes, dot italic equals false. Okay, semicolon, finished. I want to save only. I have no error. Actually, it is underlined in this one. Why? There is an underline here. That's the problem here. Checkbox, text box, dot checkbox. If checkbox 2 dot check equals 2 equals here. I need 2 equals. 2 equals here. Yes, 2 equals. It's a test. Save the work. Yes, let's test now. Let's test. Any name. Message. Wait. Exclamation mark. Display happen. Italic. Happen. Take it off. No, take it off first. Happen. Very good. Underline. Underline. Take it off. Took off. Wonderful. It works very fine. We did it. We succeeded. Let's pass to the colors now. Let's pass to the colors. Okay. Regarding the colors, actually, we have radio buttons here. We do not have actually like the font. Actually, it is boxes. The same. Actually, I'm gonna let's use the same. We have to use the same event handler. Double click it again. So at the end of the controls we need so far, be careful here. After this one, before this one, after this one, I'm going to enter again a little bit of space, and I'm going to control the colors. What are the colors? Start with the first one, the red. This one is, name is radio button 1. If the user checks this radio button 1, the colors has to be red of those two labels, both of them. Both of them. Let's do that. So this one name is radio button 1. Let's do that. So here at the end, where I put space, if I want to say radio button 1 dot check the same thing equals true, again the same scenario here. What I'm going to do, label 3 dot for color, the option is for color, for color, equals, I'm going to say color, I'm going to say actually because actually we have to use the system drawn here, so I'm going to write it here. System dot drawings, yes, dot color, yes, dot choose from the list. I want to say, for example, choose, for example, no, he said red. The radio button 1 is for red. I want to say red. Here it is. Semicolon. That's it. Done. And the same thing for the label 4. Label 4 dot for color equals system dot drawing dot also color. Okay, dot red. That's it, semicolon. Let's test it. Save. Let's test. Right click. Green browser. Name. I'm gonna say command UN. I'm gonna say SP 2021. Exclamation mark. Any message. Display. Verify. Let's choose the red. Yes, it's red. It's red. Let's choose the green. Does not work. Let's choose the blue. It does not work. Let's choose the bold. Change. Let's take off the bold. Changed. Yes. Let's go now for the green and the blue. Let's finish it. The green name is radio button 2. The blue is radio button 3. Let's start with the green. Double click on the event handler. Go to the end. Here, be careful. Enter. I want to check if radio button 2 now for the green dot checked equals true. Yes, I'm going to start my block here. I'm going to say label 3 dot for color equals system dot drawing dot color, not green, not green. Yes, semicolon. That's good. And the same thing for the label 4. I'm going to copy paste. It's label 4. Simply save. The same thing for the blue. Checkbox 3. I want to test again. Be careful where you type. Checkbox. Radio button, sorry, not checkbox. Radio button. Radio button 3. Dot checked. Equals, sorry, equal. True. There is no space in between the two equals. There is no space. Enter. I'm going to do the same thing actually for the, here it's blue. Blue. Yes. And the second thing also for the label 4. It is not green. I'm going to say blue. Yes, here it is. Typo here, blue. Yes, great. Done. Let's test. Let's save first. Save, and let's test now. We are finishing. So I'm going to say Oman SP 2021. Okay, 21 I said. Exclamation mark. Display will happen. Italic happen. Green. Change to green. Blue. Change to blue. Red. Change to, no, did not change to red. Let's change the green. Did not change the green because the last in order here. Whatever, but it happened, whatever. So actually this way we are able to control the font somehow. More visible. Somehow we are controlling the thing. So great. Actually, this is the purpose of the main press. I'm going to stop the recording now, and I'll be with you to correct whatever is missing. And I'll give you the chance to share your screens if you have any comments, and I'll send you the recording also. I'm going to stop the recording first of all.